It's no secret that we love reviewing Amazon pre-builts here on the channel. There's something about unboxing a PC, having no idea what's inside, and figuring out whether or not a company absolutely screwed up a PC or delivered a really good option that's available to anybody with Prime shipping. But today we found a PC that honestly looked like a decent deal on paper. We got an RX 580, but it has that dreaded thing that we always complain about, not disclosing what CPU you have in the title of the listing. Why do companies keep doing that? Is this PC actually good regardless of that? Well, we're about to open it up and find out, but first, a word from today's sponsor. Are you tired of your unactivated Windows install on your gaming PC? Well, today's video sponsor, GVG Mall, has you covered. GVG Mall is an online marketplace to gain access to really awesome discounted game keys, and more specifically, as we mentioned, Windows 10 licenses.
It is incredibly easy to get your Windows 10 or 11 activation key from GVG Mall. Just use code TB20 to get a special discount, and then all you have to do is take that code, put it into Windows, and boom, you have an activated Windows copy.
We have been working with GVG Mall for several years now, and we love the reliability of all the products they have to offer, so be sure to check the link in the description down below. Use code TB20 to save on your next purchase of a Windows key or other product from GVG Mall.
All right, guys, well, we got a nice big box here to open, so let's go ahead and grab out a knife and see what we got. I think this one's actually double boxed, so props to the seller for doing that.
While Jackson opens it, some of the key specs of this PC is, well, let's go over the price first. So we paid $550 for this thing. Right now it is $599. Features an RX 580, doesn't disclose if it's one of those 2048 stream processors or not. I'm assuming it probably is, but it does have an i5 4570, which isn't disclosed until you go to the very bottom of the description. McAllister, put on screen here how long you have to scroll to get to the part where it discloses that, and we're just not a big fan of that.
Yeah, that's like, I think at this point, one of my biggest pet peeves with sellers, and I know, we've kind of gotten into it with some of these sellers on eBay and Amazon where they're very upset and they're like, we're extremely honest and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, if you're honest, put the full specs in the description. Like, it's just unfair. Just don't put the processor.
It's really the title more than anything. Yeah.
It's like, don't put the title or don't put the processor in the title at all if you're not going to say which one it is, because there is such a big difference between a 2nd, 3rd, and 4th Gen i5 and like a 12th Gen i5, like a major difference.
I love this little character.
Yeah, the turbo cock.
This is the turbo cock. So I remember ZTT saw this case and it was the turbo cock.
Yes, yeah, I do actually recall that, funny enough. So yeah, it's a, I guess it's a GameX case.
Is this little guy on the other side too?
Yes, okay. It looks like a little pill.
It looks like a little
pill guy.
What is GameX doing?
I gotta admit, this case looks kind of interesting.
It is. It kind of stood out on Amazon because it's much more different than just like the all like crazy RGB'd out cases out there. But I just love turbo cock.
Oh, it's a Wi-Fi adapter. I thought it was like a SSD. I'm like, why is it not in the case? All right, we got all the ESD out of the way. Okay, so
a lot of graphics right here, by the way.
Yeah, packaging wise, they did really good. So yeah, here's our Abby's. No, I'm just kidding. It's our Abyss case. Just talks about all of the stuff we're supposed to be doing with it. I don't know. It's not bad, but it's not great. I guess for people who don't like going online, this is nice.
Frequently asked questions.
This is like, yeah, it's almost scary. It's like, dude,
if you were a first-time builder, this would kind of, or not, you're buying a pre-built, so you're not a builder. You're a first-time PC person. This might be kind of scary.
You shouldn't have to look at that stuff, if that makes sense. So like, we're not gonna lie and say that we don't have problems with PCs. PCs are very problem-ridden, but we don't add all that troubleshoot stuff because I think when people see that, they're like, how many problems do they have? Like, is every PC they send out, is there a good chance it's gonna have problems?
Okay, so this is the one I remember now that has a fan that blows on the back of the motherboard. So like you can see right here, there is a fan.
Oh yeah, cool, I guess. It's an interesting design. So once again, another quick start guide.
Oh my God.
The case looks fine. It has 2 fans up top. It has the one motherboard one in the back. It looks like we do have like an RGB fan or 2. The case showed up in really good condition though. A lot of times we get like dented cases, but this one appears to be fine. Of course, the thumb screw is not a thumb screw. It's like, they did not want you to open this thing ever. But obviously we have to take out our foam here, which props them for using expanding foam. That stuff is more expensive, but it really does keep your components
pretty. Oh,
that's not expanding.
I was gonna say.
I can't read. No, I'm just kidding. I just can't pay attention. Props them for putting anything in it.
Yes,
this is not that expensive.
No.
This is a 2048.
Oh, it is.
So
you see it right there. Yeah.
One thing that I already hate, and this is not in the title, correct?
Let me triple check.
Let's make sure.
The title RX 580 8 gigs GDDR.
Okay, yeah, this is very wrong of them because once again, it's very misleading. The RX 580 2048 stream processor needs to be noted because it is not a 580. It's basically a 570, okay? Because they really dumbed down the specs in this. And this is just one of those like cheap AliExpress cards. They probably are buying them in bulk. And yeah, you're getting a 570 8 gig essentially instead of a 580 8 gig. That does make a big difference.
It's such a huge cooler for
This
no
is,
reason.
This is dumb too. This is a Fortune i5, but you will find out if you scroll all the way down through the description. This motherboard is not an OEM board. It's one of those Huanzai boards, which is typically they just reuse chipsets. So it's kind of like a recycle board. Same with this GPU. That's from what we know. They're basically like recycled components, which we're not gonna say we're fans of those. I mean, we use them all the time. It's just when they don't disclose stuff like this, it's just kind of dirty, you know?
Give them some props. A decent power supply. Well, it's on paper right now. Like the
Yeah,
cables look okay, but let's see what the actual power supply is.
Now, and I don't like that we've done this before. I'm not gonna take off points for this, but it could look a lot better if they used a micro ATX case.
Yeah.
The full size case with the micro ATX board's kind of goofy. There's no need to do that, but let's see what we got power supply. It's a full range power. Oh, it's a GameX. It's the GP 580 plus bronze.
Okay.
Now let's check out the back. They actually did a pretty good job. Caleb Mansion back here. This is just
That's so
almost dumb. Actually, no, you know what? They kind of did design it to where it looks like, okay, yeah, so it pulls air.
If they're going to do it, they did a good job designing it. I don't know if it really makes sense for this i5, but it's kind of cool, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. We do have an ADATA. I'm glad one thing in this build is like a name brand. ADATA is not a bad SSD. It is ARGB. That's one kind of cool thing about this case that I'm going to note. Real ARGB. I like that. But yeah, I mean, the GP 500 is not like a bad power supply. It could be worse, but I'm pretty confident if you look this up in the tier list, it will be considered to be E or throwaway or blow up or whatever tier, but obviously
It's going to end the world power
in a
supply.
$500 build, yeah, I mean, what do you expect? Like 500 or a little bit more than that, you kind of have to make a sacrifice in the power supply, especially right now. Power supplies are not cheap. It is what it is. Let's see if this thing freaking turns on real quick.
I was going to get turbo on us.
But yeah, like we were saying too, with the stock cooler, there's no reason to not use a stock cooler in this build. It really should just have.
Oh, good God.
Wow. Fans are weird.
Oh, wait, hold up. I didn't even notice that. Yeah, there's ring fans up top, and then
I'm
there's...
gonna touch it. Look how dangerous. Dude, these fans are not safe.
Yeah, so ring fans there, and then like a normal RGB in the back, and then one up front. So interesting fan design choice, but
I mean, it looks good.
can we change the color to make it red?
Maybe to red.
I feel like
That
it
would
needs to
look
be
pretty nice.
red.
Ooh.
It doesn't sync with the cooler. The cooler, well, that RGB was wild.
Will we ever find red now? Was this a mistake?
That's
Ah,
red.
red. We'll
Okay.
take that dub. The cooler is, why is it not synced? Is it probably RGB only?
It might be.
Cooler is RGB only.
That sucks.
Yeah, that's, even it's like demo mode RGB. I'm like, what the heck? Did it come with a remote maybe?
Is it?
That'd be really goofy, but it doesn't have a 3-pin
doesn't have
coming
a-
off of it.
oh,
No,
wow.
it just has a fan header. That's why, I mean, yeah, I don't, weird choice, guys, weird choice, but whatever. So anyways, I wouldn't be surprised, that's probably not in the description either, that the fan is static RGB. That's something that we disclose. I think anyone should disclose that, because if anybody wants to change the color, it's just not gonna
Could be
look
wrong,
good.
but I think the picture doesn't even, let me see. Okay, it
Doesn't
does
even
show
show
some
RGB.
RGB. It does show some, but it's
Got
not
it.
like crazy. But yeah, I guess what we're gonna go and do, load this thing up with some games, see how it performs. So far, there's some weird choices, but as long as it works, it's not awful for Amazon PC standards,
yeah.
but let's just go ahead and get some games installed and see what it can do.
All right, guys, we're playing some Battlefield, is this 5?
5.
Battlefield 5, there's so many of them I don't even know anymore, but as you can see, 920 by 1080, full screen. We got the FOV turned up, and we're running medium settings. Now, there is some more setting tweaking we could do to get a slightly more smooth experience, but this is pretty decent. I
Yeah,
mean,
below 10 milliseconds, 8.5. So reason we did Battlefield 5, just something a little bit different. Still a decently demanding game, even though it's a bit older. But for a system for $500, just to show you guys, you can play all these other games as well and get a pretty solid experience overall. One thing to mention as well with this PC, and we see this a lot with these Amazon pre-builds, so I just kind of come to expect it, there were no drivers at all on this computer, like none, which I would have preferred that they installed the driver, even if it's now older, just some driver instead of leaving just the Windows default driver. It would have worked, but it would have probably thrown some errors for most customers who don't really know any better. So we installed the driver. So that's good, it's working. Windows was somewhat up to date. Oh, he's getting really blasted right now. But yeah, there was some out of the box stuff that we had to take care of, just like that tank just took care of him.
I got pantsed.
To get this thing working, but the temperatures are solid. The turbo cock is doing its job. Oh, we're getting saved.
Oh, wow, I was holding a skip. My teammates are shooting, so there has to be.
Oh, they're on the ground. Hey.
Yeah. Oh,
hey.
you're gonna die. Help!
There's an enemy right in front of me. Help. Oh, their tanks are coming. Oh. Oh.
Oh!
Oh.
Oh!
That tree went crazy.
Oh!
Oh.
Let's go. Peek this corner real quick.
Oh, yes,
There we go.
headshot.
There we go.
The momentum.
Yes.
You're done.
Satisfying. That guy's cover just blew up.
Oh. Hey.
Yay,
Wow.
we actually won.
Oh my God. This PC can run Battlefield 5. I mean, it's not a very new game, but it is still pretty demanding. But we are going to switch to a game that is newer and more demanding. We're going to do some Warzone 2.0 and see, did you buy this PC for Warzone? All right, guys, we are in Warzone 2.0 Resurgence. We are on the minimum preset. We are using FSR Performance, which is basically the best FSR we can get. So everything's on like pretty much low. 120 FOV, and it's not great. And I'll be honest, I think we're very CPU bottlenecked here. Warzone does not like older quad cores, especially these older i5s, because right now we're at like 85-90% CPU usage. That GPU is going down to like 20% every so often. So I think we're pretty bottlenecked by this i5, which is the main downside with these Amazon systems. They get these older i5s, slap in somewhat decent GPUs, but then they get held back in newer games like this. So we'll land and see how it holds up. We are in Resurgence, so this is going to be a little freaky. Ah! Yeah, take that.
Yeah,
I'm running.
Yeah.
Oh, what? Wait, hold up.
Ooh.
No.
Ooh, this might work. Oh, he's coming from the right. This maybe not good. Oh, can he shoot from the? Oh,
Hey, let's go!
Oh my God, that guy's pissed. He's
Oh, I have to
floating away.
reload. What's the longest reload ever? Oh my God, look at the textures. Where am I?
Oh, he's going down. Oh, that sucks.
Ah!
You think there's 10 pounds of C4 around the corner? Oh, he just tried to come at you. He's cracked.
That was the slowest gun change.
Nice.
GG's,
All or
hey.
nothing.
You know what? It wasn't that great, I'll be honest. But for the memes, we're going to play 2 more games, some more demanding games. We got Cyberpunk Hogwarts Legacy, which might actually work okay. And then we're gonna try Jedi Survivor, a game that doesn't run on anything. But we're gonna see if it actually works just for the fun of it. Nothing against this company, these parts aren't made for it, but just for the sake of it, we wanna see if we can get it to work. And then we'll just wrap this video up real quick.
All right, guys, we just got done benchmarking our Amazon PC, and overall, it did work. That's one of the good things to note, is that the PC came in pretty good shape. It did work. That's not to be said for a lot of the other PCs we get from eBay and Amazon. They often will come with stuff unplugged or things that just weren't done properly. But this one overall, although with the weird parts configuration and a little bit of truth stretching, I guess you could say, as far as the 580 goes and the i5, it definitely worked pretty well.
Now, the main drawbacks with this system are the motherboard being it's a chipset recycled motherboard, and the fact that it is a really cheap motherboard because it only has 100 meg networking on it, which for those at home that don't know, if you have like if you have anything over like 100 down, 100 up at home, you will not be able to utilize the download speeds on this networking built into the motherboard, which means you have to go out of your way to buy a networking card. And realistically, if you're buying a pre-built from Amazon, you're not really in the place to want to do something like that. So that is one big downside of these motherboards, and I really think that they should look at better options for them. But I would say this PC falls under those like STG Abron like category systems where they're fine on Amazon, and around $500 is a good deal. If it's any higher than like $500, probably not a good buy. There's other options out there on the market, but if you want to see the current price of this PC, check the links down below. They will be affiliate links and they will help us out. Let us know what you think of this PC down below. Let us know what you think of this very interesting case as well. And yeah, let us know if there's any other PCs you want to see here on the channel.
And as always, we hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, check out our other YouTube channels and also our twitch.tv/ToastyBros. And do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
And we'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.
Now this PC right here will now be for sale at PCBros.tech with our 1-year warranty, so you don't have anything to worry about there. But yeah, from gaming PCs to cheap laptops to tablets, we have it all at PC Bros.
PC Bros iTech, gaming PCs, gaming laptops, and merch. Don't forget about our merch. We have Toasty Bros and PC Bros merch that you see all around the film set while we're filming. Use code ToastyBros2 and check out to save 2% of your next purchase. See you guys later. Goodbye.
Peace out.